Today, I'm going to give you 3 strategies that you can start using today when a lead ghosts you. That way you can get more people on the phone and you can get more people to start talking to you, and you can ultimately make more sales. These are 3 strategies that I use for probably 15 years now, and they work a large majority of the time, enough that I don't need anything else. When a lead ghosts you, first of all, you have to understand that when you're getting them back, your goal is not to get the sale at this process. Your goal is just to get them to start communicating again. Just open up the lines of communication again. Before I can tell you what to do, I want to tell you what not to do. And what you should never do is you should never start shouting the F word at them. Well, it's not the 4-letter F word you're thinking about. It's following up. Never send them emails and text messages and leave them voicemails saying, hey, I'm just following up. Like, that's desperate, and it doesn't work very well. Like, they know who you are. They know that you're reaching out to them, and they know that the reason that you're reaching out is because you want to sell them something. There's a principle that if they feel like you need them, then they're gonna feel like they don't need you. Conversely, if you can make them feel like you don't need them, then that is automatically going to make them feel like they need you. It's just the law of attraction. How do you actually revive a lead from the dead if they have ghosted you? There's 3 strategies that I use. The first strategy is something that I call by the way marketing. The format of by the way marketing is essentially an introduction and then some sort of value. A way that you can follow up and you can continue staying in communication, but it doesn't reek of desperation. And you're not saying, hey, I'm just following up with you. What you're gonna do is you're going to reach out and provide additional value. The prerequisite of this is that you have to have done a call with them and know a little bit of information about what is their problem, what are they trying to solve, what are their goals, what is their dominant buying motive. All of these things you need to know, because if you don't know anything about your prospect, then you can't sell them anything. And honestly, that could be a reason that they're ghosting you, is because you didn't do a really good job of actually learning about them. Let me give you an example. We have a client, his name is Lance, and he's a DUI attorney out in Seattle. So somebody came into his office, did a consultation with him for a DUI, but they ultimately ended up not hiring him. A little while later, he sent a message, I think it was about a week later, sent a message and said, hey, this is Lance. Wanted to really, wanted to thank you for coming in and tell me your story. By the way, I was thinking about your case, and because of you being in front of Judge X, Y, and Z, the best DUI defense that I think you need to use for your particular situation is whatever the DUI defense is. And the person picked up the phone and called him. So what he did is he followed up and then he provided additional value. That's really the format. It's basically some sort of introduction. You can say, by the way, or, I was thinking about your situation, and value. What this is doing is this is allowing you to, first of all, prove that you can help them by actually helping them. And it's also allowing you to make another touch point, because most salespeople they know this, but they don't act like they know this, where most sales are made between the 5th and the 12th touch. But I would be willing to bet that most salespeople in the world don't ever even get to the 5th touch. This allows you to make those additional touches, even if someone is ghosting you and you provide them really good value. Now, don't just give them crappy value, give them actual good value. Like, that's why you have to know about their situation, know what the outcome is that they're looking for, and then provide a little bit of extra value that is going to show them that you can help them, prove you can help them by actually helping them. That's by the way marketing. I do that all the time. I always think, if I want to reach out to somebody, especially if they haven't been communicating with me, I always want to provide some sort of additional value, because when you do that, a lot of the times they respond. It works really, really well. The second message that I will send to get people to contact me and start opening up the lines of communication again once they have ghosted me is something that I learned from Chris Voss. And Chris Voss is an FBI hostage negotiator, and he's got one great line. You just send an email or a text message and you say, hey, name, have you given up on, and then whatever their dominant buying motive is. For example, I recently had a client, he was a law firm owner, and he wanted to build a law firm that gave him more money in his pocket. He wanted to have a lot more free time because he just really didn't have a lot of free time. And the story that he told me was that he really wanted to take his 2 sons to the AFC championship game up in Kansas City. and watch the Chiefs play. But he said he couldn't do it for two reasons. One, he couldn't afford the tickets because they were really expensive. And two, even if he could afford the tickets, he couldn't take the time off because he didn't live in Kansas City and it would have been getting on a plane and all that type of stuff. And he just couldn't take the time off. So I sent him a message a couple, probably like 6 or 7 days after we initially talked. I said, hey, have you given up on taking your kids to the AFC Championship game next year? That's all I said. I didn't say, are you ready to hire me? Or, hey, just following up on that contract I sent you. I didn't say any of that. And basically what happened is he said, no, I haven't given up on that. And then that opened up the doors for conversation. I was able to talk to him, and then ultimately he signed up. It's a very simple line. It's very, very simple. All it is have you given up on, and then whatever their dominant buying motive is. And then once again, this is why it's so important to know what is their dominant buying motive. You've got to know what is the internal thing that they actually want. The reason that they actually need your service, the reason that they actually want to hire you. And when you have that, then you can do all these things, and these things are very, very effective. So that is the Chris Voss Have You Given Up email. Now, the third message that I send is one that works very, very well, and I call it the pest email. And the pest email is basically using the most powerful thing that we have in sales, and that's the push away. The push away basically says, all right, fine, I don't need you anyway. I don't care. I don't need you to be a client. Go away. So essentially what I'll do is I'll send an email and I'll say, hey, Steve, this is Andy with SMB team, and I haven't heard back from you for a while. So I wanted to send you this last email. Now, I don't want to be a pest, so I'm not going to reach out again. I'm assuming that you're not interested in working with us, and I'm assuming you've given up on whatever their dominant buying motive is. If I'm wrong, please send me a message and we can have a conversation. But if not, I wish you the best of luck in the future. Sincerely, Andy. So what I do is I say, look, I don't want to be a pest, so I'm not going to reach out again because I've reached out a few times and I don't want to be a pest. So if you want to talk to me, then let me know. Otherwise, best of luck to you in the future. Now, what this is doing psychologically is this is the push away. This is basically doing that whole, I don't need you. Because again, if they feel like I don't need them, then they feel like they need me. And that's why the pest email works so well. So if you use these three strategies, when a lead ghosts you, your revival from the dead percentage is going to go way up. It's not going to be 100%. Nothing works 100%. But these are three strategies that I have used for many, many, many years, and they have easily made me 8 figures in sales. So try them out. By the way, marketing, the Chris Voss Have You Given Up message, and then finally the pest email. Try them out and let me know how they work.